Okay, Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram. You get me. I think every day nowadays we wake up, we have a habit of checking our new feeds, right? To see like what's going on, getting updated with friends. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. However, I think it's also important to definitely grow yourself, and then adding values to yourself as well. Right. Next slide. Okay, so here is a little, I kind of picked up on the internet, just to elaborate my points. But life plans. Have you guys had a life plan before? Life plan? No? Maybe college plan. That make more sense, right? College plan. How to finish college in a few years. Some say I'll do it in 3 years. Some say I'll do it in 4 years. Some say I'll do it in 10 years. 10 years in college. That sounds like a lot of fun. And definitely, I think that's more fun than study. But if you guys look at this, I mean, is it too small for you guys to see? You can see, right? Okay, right. Over here, right? How old are you guys? If I may ask, average. Anybody is about 23, 22, 21, 20, 20. And the rest under 20. Okay, under 18? No, under 18. Okay, cool. We're not, everything stuff here is 18 and plus. Yeah. I think talking about career is 18 and plus, right? Yeah. Anyway, right? Life plan. I feel like when I first come to the country, I haven't mentioned, right? I came from Vietnam, so my original plan was going to school, getting a degree, getting a job. Hopefully that lasts long, and then making enough money to buy a house, even though I didn't know how much the house cost here, and making a bit more money to get married, have multiple kids. Even though I know now, I found out that raising a kid in America for 18 years that costs up to $200,000 a year. And sometimes I don't even think about having a kid. It's just overwhelmed, It's funny. I cut my hair in Grand Paris a couple days ago. I talked to my barber, and she said, "I got 2 kids. One actually going to UTI, 19 years old, and one is 9 years old." And she said sometimes she having conversation with her husband, and the husband is kind of joking. He said, "I wish I didn't marry to you and have kids." I don't know if that's a joke or that's the truth, but that's sad. And I asked why, and she said she worked full time, her husband worked full time, and raising 2 kids, that's not enough money. So just for you to know that if your parents are they're helping you financially now, that's a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibility, right? So come back to this. Right? This one. Come back to this, right? This is like I think perfect plan that everybody have had in their mind, right? Go to college, meeting their soulmate in college, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, or best friends, right? Or best enemy. Right? Finish in college, hopefully, right? And go to grad school. Hopefully, you might getting married, right? Perfect. Passing, I don't know what it is. Choosing, thesis topics and then defending thesis, writing thesis. This is like a writing life story for you guys, right? And the later you are, I think you just, keep working, enjoying in the weekend, right? There's nothing bad about it. People are doing that every day. Publishing books, I don't think about writing books before. But the next slide, please. Okay, this is sort of a, reality check. What is that? Okay, right here. Soulmate, don't you? Right. You can relate probably. Work on random fruitless projects. Right, which means that after you finish the project, you don't enjoy what the project brings to you. The second money, grad school. Ooh, it's kind of old, 32 years old. So basically, the main point is that the reality will be definitely different than what we expected, you know. The next slide, Okay, so dream, let's discuss a bit on dream, but before we move on, what is in your mind right now in terms of dream? We'll talk about dream. Anything, could be anything.
Dream outside.
For me, it's dream to have sleep.
More sleep.
More sleep? Yeah.
Nightmare.
Huh?
Nightmare, just a dream. Like
Your dream is nightmare?
Huh?
No.
Nightmare could be a dream.
Are you dream of nightmares or?
No, like, I like nightmares. So, like, it's like my dream. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but it's just so you ask, like, what is
But if you could dream something, what do you dream?
I don't know. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Still thinking about it?
Yeah.
Ever thought about traveling?
Like, that is one of the, like, the usual dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usual, right? It's usual, but
Like, the common dreams people have.
right. It takes work, right? Definitely it takes work. What about you guys?
Buy my parents a house.
Buy your parents a house.
A
Nice.
good house.
Where?
Someplace nice.
Some places, California.
Yeah. Or like a city view apartment, like towards the city,
Mhm.
or Chicago.
What about a beach house?
I like a city view.
City view, New York.
Yeah, or Chicago. Next to.
Okay. I never been to New York and Chicago, but I think it's pretty pricey. What about Zoe?
I just want to eat with a wasteful every day.
Oh, okay. I guess she's living in UTA dorm. They don't sell Vietnamese food there, right? Nothing bad about American food, but Vietnam is just preference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, first thing with the reason I want to mention dream is because everybody has some sort of motivations, right? Or they are trying to come up with some motivations, And here's the thing. What I come to realization after many years is that our dreams, most of the time, it comes from people reference. Like, I look at my friends. He got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, like dynamic, what is it? Dynamic island, 256 gigs, and I'm like, that's my dream. And I come to my home. I come to Apple store. I check my iPhone 12 with iPhone 14. I'm like, it's no more my dream. Right? So a lot of time, our dreams come from people's dreams. Right? Getting a degree. When you were born, have you thought about a degree? No. When you were born, have you thought about working a job? No. Right? So, is it okay to get reference from people? You guys think?
I think yes.
It's okay, right? And we definitely need to get reference from people, right? Why do you think people watch news? Why do you think people watch news?
You know what's going on in the world.
Know what's going on? Why? To prepare for what?
Prepare for whatever might happen.
Whatever that happen, right? How many?
Conversations with other people.
Conversation, yeah, to hang out, converse with people, right? I like what you said earlier, to prepare for what's gonna come, right? How many of you drive here today? Drove here today. Okay. Did you watch out a bit for the traffic before you come? Kind of check on GPS. Yeah. Like maybe what time is the best time to come? Like is any traffic on the street? So that you can avoid, right? So it's important to get reference, but the question is, where are you getting reference from? My dad is a businessman, and he say that if you come to school, don't expect to learn to run a business from your professors, even though your professor might be a business professor. And I asked my dad why. And he say if he's a businessman, he probably don't go to school to teach. That's just simple like that. And it took me years to understand, and then You know, I come to class and I ask my professor, and I got a C. And I got a C for asking that. Alright, so move on, please. Move on. Alright, this is, I think, you know, some of the traveling trips. You know, these like, I guess you guys be looking at it on Instagram so many times now, right? You're used to it already. You know. Move on. Next slide. Okay, this is one of my estimate in terms of how much it costs to travel, right? To, you know, the specific location is Maldives, right? Many Asian people like Maldives, you know. 6 adults. The reason is 6 adults not because I'm gonna have 4 kids, but you know, 1 wife, one parents on my mom on my side, 1 parents on her side. So that's 6 people. 4 kids is like 10 years, you know. But it's gonna cost 50,000. How much people are gonna make this kind of income after your graduation? Most of you guys, yeah, this is like, I think desirable income, right? In California, this is considered as lower than low class. In Texas, maybe it's okay. In Texas, I think it's you know, good enough to make a living, right? Next slide. Okay, this is like a cost simulator for Maldives Island, right? If you wanna go, what people, how many days, nights, tours, you know, how many attractions you can include in that. You know, the reason I do this, and the reason I'm showing with you guys is, question yourself, okay? There's many things to do out there. There's many places to travel out there. And in those places, there's many class, right? There's many, like, stars of hotels, you know? There's a hotel, it's called 1 million star, but it's like homeless. You know, like people talk about it, people make jokes about it, you know? There's a hotel that's called, you know, Sheraton. That's maybe like 4 or 5 star, but there's like Airbnb that's like 0 star. You know, they get a lot of views, star, you know, reviews, right? But that's different thing. And there's no room service, right? There's like no gifts at all. There's like no people who, you know, who pick up your luggage and send to your room for you, you know? But this is for you guys to know that if you could make a choice, what kind of level of travel would you like? And I'm talking about later ages, not just now, you know? I think at the age of 20, we like something called, have you guys heard of backpacking? That sounds very cool, isn't it? When I was 18, I'm like, wishing I can backpack to America. Finally, when I turned 18, it happens. It's not just one backpack, but one backpack with 2 big luggages. And I realized that it's fun, but it's not that fun. It comes with some headache, you know? Losing the package and stuff, and it lost my energy, and I can't even have enough energy to enjoy the food. But this is kind of, move on, next slide. This is like, here, economy, premium economy, business class, first class, right? Do you guys think that the more you increase it, it's gonna cost more money? Yeah? If you ask your parents, what are they gonna say? Right, these questions, okay? If you could choose, right, don't care about the finance, if you could choose what kind of travel you like, parents, what do you choose? What do you think will be the answer you receive from your parents? Luxury? Luxury? Like this. But then when they look at the bank account, what do they say? Economy? Ferry? You guys know what it means by seaplane? It's land on the sea, right? It's like a couple of days ago, I watched TikTok, and you know, there's a red car that can drive out of my garage, and I'm like, man, that's coming to my bucket list now. Right? So, reality check is something that stops people from dreaming. That stops people from dreaming. You know, there's a book called Magic of Thinking Big. Donald Trump recommended that book. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the politics, okay? But we cannot deny the fact that Donald Trump is a big financial influencer in the country. He's very wealthy. Do you guys, let's not talking about the politics, right? Do you guys want to live the financial, happy marriage life just like him? He raised kids better than a lot of people. He told his kid that no smoking, no alcohol, no girls, clean lifestyle. Better than a lot of people, right? So, you know, one point, I just get out, this one point is that there's a many things that are available. But sometimes, you know, we are so stuck into living the reality that everybody is setting for us. You know, everybody is talking about working in full-time jobs, getting you know, paycheck, enjoying on the weekends. We forgot that there's an option out there, right? So you can move on now, next slide. Okay, the more you increase, you see that it come from I think less than 10,000. Now it come up to 15. Next one. Okay, some misconceptions. There's some misconception that we're talking about right now. Passion, right? Mindset, stable, secure jobs, mama boys, girls, needs lots of money, ingenious mindset to, you know, an excellent products to run a business, right? And strangers are dangerous, having no talent, right? Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Have you guys ever estimated how much does it cost to make a living, to stay living, healthy, happy? Have you guys ever done this kind of thing, like expenses tracking? You know why people run to it nowadays? Because it's more scary than Halloween ghost. If they look at their monthly phone bills and you know all that payments, that's scary. That's very scary, right? So, I mean, you know, young people don't do it because parents are doing it for them. I didn't do it until I turned 19, because at the age of 19, that's like a celebration of 1 year I stayed in the US, and that's when my mom's money is gone. That's when I gotta make my own money, and that's when I realized that, how come on the 20th of the month, I only have noodles to eat. And that's when I gotta make this kind of budgeting shit. And I realized how broke I was, right? And I've done it another time when I graduated, you know, when I graduated from school and getting full-time jobs, and I realized that it's a second time check that I'm broke again. Because living in California, making 60,000, that's nothing, that's rich. That's not enough, right? And you know, I mean, all of this is, I mean, you can customize. You know, there's a lot of things like you guys probably see on the street: cheap insurance, right? Cheap health insurance, cheap car insurance. Everything nowadays has a lot of options. You name it, they have it. You know, because there's something called in marketing is called demand and supply. If people demand cheap insurance, they will come up with supply for cheap insurance. But here's the thing: how do you know that's going to work? Right? Cheap health insurance. How do you know they're going to pay your medical bills? All right. So next one, please. Right here. Okay. How many people realize that the gas been fluctuating? The gas. Yeah. I didn't know that just because of one fight between two countries, Russians and Ukraine, right? The U.S. gas prices increased. And I've been living here for like close to 9 years in the country. And you know, California gas back in 2014, it was at $1.9. Now it's $6. Now it's $6. Who really like to pay $6 for gas? Okay, here's the thing. After 9 years, right, the gas price increased from 1.9 to 6. That's like what? That's like $4 increase. What about our income? Increasing in $4 is different. Okay, that income is going to increase. Like what? The last time I asked my boss a couple of years ago when I was still working a full-time job, I told him, right? Hey, you look at my performance last 2 months? Yeah. So what's up? And then I asked him, do you think I deserve a raise in my salary? And he said, yeah, I'll think about it. And the second week, you know, I was that thick face. I come back and ask for it again. Same question asked. And now he said, yeah, definitely, you know, you made it, man. I think congratulations. Thank you, bro, for, you know, contributing to the company. And I'm like, man, dang, I'm gonna get, you know, high income now. And he said 1%. And do you know how much 1% of 50,000 is? That's like what? How much? 500. 500 is a big deal. But look at, come back to that expenses, it's not a big of a deal at all. There's not a big deal at all. Right? So this is after pandemic, 2 years, 2020 and 2021. Gas price is 44%, right? All other expenses increased. However, people's income doesn't increase, not even 10% with their regular performance, unless maybe getting higher, getting higher in the corporate ladders, right? But next slide. Okay. This video, he's actually a CEO of a multi-hundreds people companies, and he's giving the news. He's telling people how sad he is when he's laying off people. Of course, any CEO is going to be sad because they lost their income. That's why they got to lay off people. But here's the thing, one thing about working at jobs and when working for somebody, I realize is that we come to job for security. However, it's not secure. Right? How many of you guys have heard about people getting laid off during the past 3 years? Who are they? Do you know any of them? Friends? And how about parents? No? What about family members? Right? I don't know. My dad's business in Vietnam, the revenue go down by 40%. I don't know about you, but 40% to my family is big of a deal. And a lot of our investment kind of go down as well, stocks, real estate and stuff. Let's watch the video. Okay, let's watch the video to see. Okay.
If you're on this call, you are the unlucky group.
Who doesn't go down here?
Part of the unlucky group. Your employment here is terminated effective immediately. It's been a really, really challenging decision.
Is it going on TV?
If you're on this call,
Is this the TV? Yeah. Okay, let me see. I think I study computer science to be okay with it. Is it? Not working? TV is not working? No. Anyway, let's not watch the video today then. Right? So, he laying off people. You guys probably are still in your 20s, so you don't experience how laid off means, right? You know what is the impact of laying off? Getting laid off? Let's say if you get a full-time job and you get laid off, what's the impact? What do you think? Anything? Yeah. Financially? How?
Like, you don't have money. You have, but not that much.
Not that much.
Your regular lifestyle gets affected.
Alright.
If you have parents, if you're supporting your family.
Yeah.
So it impacts your children, your wife, your parents. So in general, the whole lifestyle gets affected.
Right. Okay. The regular lifestyle of a brand new full-time workers after college is this. They make about 50,000 a year. They're gonna spend a couple hundreds, if not thousands, on their car payments. They're gonna spend about maybe $100 for their phone bills, new phone bills. They're gonna spend more money on their clothes. Maybe getting mortgage for a house, because I know Texas houses are cheap, right? But here's the thing. Let's say if you are paying money for the house, for the phone, for the cars, and suddenly you get laid off. Ask yourself a question: who's gonna pay for those bills? Okay, here's the thing in the US, it's called, after you get laid off, you can get another job. After you get laid off from an engineer from this company, there's more companies available, right? But here's the thing, what about that 2 months gap? What about that? Maybe it's gonna take you 6 months to find a job. Because I don't think anybody can find a job, or only a small percentage of people can find quick jobs with that similar income after a few weeks. Because I used to work in HR for companies. When I look at people's resume, I throw that in the trash can. Because it doesn't matter to me. Because it just matters to me is that what people talk to me, how their performance are. Because I know that when I used to look for a full-time job for the first time, I lied. So all people is gonna do that in their resumes. So it doesn't matter. Whatever you write in a resume, they don't care. Now in companies, there's something called automatic resume selections, which means they don't even look at it. They send it to a machine check mark, and then they check it. So don't even, I mean, still write your resumes, right? Because it gives you some sort of credibility, you know. But the thing is that, you know, if you get into laid off, you know, which is the thing that's happened to everybody. It's a thing. People say things like, that's very futuristic and very, you know, very, very correct. Like, you know, I would never get laid off because my performance are great. I would never laid off because my school GPA is good. Anybody here is getting 4.0? 4.0, 3.9, 3.999, 3.5? About, yeah, 3.0, yeah. I don't think UTA is like the top school in the country. I don't even think that TCU is top school in the country. Even Harvard students still can get laid off. And the thing is that, you know, as a business owner, I don't hire people because of their degrees. I don't care nothing about their degrees. So most of the time students would only care about their degrees. However, as business owner don't care about it. So if I come to professors now and say, hey professors, I don't care about student degree. You should quit your jobs. Then you know why? You know what happens? School would collapse. And when school collapses, business owner lost money because school is a business making money. Whatever you pay for school, that make money for students, I mean for business owners, right? So just have an idea that the job is not secure at all, right? You can try to program in your mind as much as you can that job is secure. It is not. It is not at all. It is not at all. Okay? So here's the thing. We'll talk about passions. We'll talk about passions. Are you passionate about your majors?
Mine?
Yeah? Yeah? Let me ask you, why are you passionate about your major?
Well, I want to work in it.
You all want to work in it? How many years have you been working in that major?
Like in my major?
Yeah.
How many years do I have to study?
Right.
Around 5.
5 years? Before that, did you put many years in studying that subject?
No.
No? So it's like a total, complete different thing? Wow. That's, takes courage, huh? Why did you pick that major?
Reference.
Oh, what do you mean by reference?
You said, right? You see your friends or you see someone you look up to.
Oh,
So that like that. So I saw like a friend of mine who picked that major and
Yeah.
she's working in Boeing. So I'm like,
Boeing.
okay. And that really motivated me and inspired me. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to do that. So.
awesome, awesome.
But over the years, it changed. You know, sometimes I wanted to work in the UN or WHO.
Mm,
So, but later I just got into aerospace.
right, right. How many of you in here also passionate about something else? Passions? Whatever you're passionate about. Money, having a lot of money. Yeah, I think having
Whatever is generous.
money enthusiasm is good,
Yeah.
right? What about anybody is passionate about eating? Especially eating good food, like fine cuisine. Yeah. Money can take care of it. Yeah, what about passionate about sleeping? Yeah. When you're sleeping now, what about passionate about health, fitness? Health and fitness. What about passionate about spending time with your family, maybe?
Yeah.
What about passionate about cooking, baking? Yeah? Okay. Here's the thing. There's something about passions. You can take a look at the screen now. Steve Jobs is somebody that when people talk about him, they say he's very passionate about tech. Bill Gates is going to be passionate about what? Microsoft. Right? But here's the thing, you know, the reason that somebody come up with passions along the way in their careers, I think it's because they spend so many years and effort to develop that passion, to develop that chain, to develop that skills, so that when they are so good at it, they like it. Tasha, do you like mathematics?
Well, yeah,
Yeah?
kind of.
Is it because you're good at it?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it that you're not good at?
Like,
Subject?
I mean, subject, right?
Subject. Drawing.
Yeah.
Okay, are you passionate about drawing?
No.
No?
Well, I mean, I like to look at like good drawings,
Okay.
you know, like paintings, but
Products of
like
your
do
drawing?
it. You
Yeah.
know.
Okay, cool. So you enjoy beautiful house, beautiful interior design, but not technically,
Yeah, not making it.
doing it, right? I have a lot of passion, as a regular boy, I would say I'm a regular boy. I used to be passionate about games. And then I told my mom that, hey, I'm gonna go to school for computer science majors. And then, later on working in tech company, designing games. And then, reality is when I work in that job, I'm like, how come my passion now become my number one thing that I wanna quit? Because it come with headache. It's come with headache. Let's move on to the next one. Next one, because we cannot watch video. Okay, next one. Next one. Oh, okay, right here. Doctor's fantasy. He say that he very passionate about income. Okay. If you ask any doctors or any medical students, most of them is gonna say, I'm passionate about medical schools. I'm passionate about helping people. Here's the truth. I make a lot of money. Everyone respect me. My mom, my dad, rest recognize me. Reality, I watch people die every day. Work exhausting 12-hour shift. Exhausting, don't you see that? And have crippling, depression, and multiple addictions. Okay, who's in here like to make 500,000 a year? Raise your hands. 500,000. If I give you 500,000 income, do you take it? Okay. If I give you 12-hour shift exhausting, do you take it?
No.
But you gotta spend that 12-hour exhausting shift to work to make 500,000. Okay, who's in here, if you don't like 500,000, who's in here like at least 50 to 100,000 a year?
Yeah.
But at least if you make 50 to 1,000 a year, do you think making 50 to 100,000 a year, you also have to work exhausting shifts? Because higher ladder means higher responsibility, but it doesn't mean when you make 60,000, it doesn't come with any responsibility, right? So here, take a look at this. Doctors, right? They say a lot of shifts, constant threat of litigation and complaints. If you make one wrong thing, you're in the verge of losing your career. I have a friend. He have close to 10 years experience working, practicing as a doctor, surgeon. And he said that there was a time that his co-workers having an accident at home, and he lost one of his fingers. And he lost all of his career after. It's just because of one finger. He lost the career. Is it worth it? Spending over 10 years of studying, and then just because of one finger, not the middle one, but this one, he lost the career. And now, I mean, if you lost career, it's not that losing and losing a job, it's losing a career. Which means that if you go to different hospital, they still say bye to you. Because the moment you shake hands with them, they realize that there's only 4 fingers. Right? So is it worth it to spend over 10 years studying that major because of one accident? You lost the careers. Nobody wants it. Here's the thing. Every doctor is going to work very carefully just not to lose one finger. See that? Because that's the moment they lose it, they lose their careers. Right? So here's the thing. Hospital administration, red tapes, blah, 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 right? Next one, next slide. Right here, different majors, okay? Musicians, chef, cook. Showing up at club at 5 p.m. and then finishing everything at early morning. And then their sleep start from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Do you know when you change your sleeping cycle, it damages your life, damages yourself? Yeah. So, I want to ask all students at any school one question. Do you like the good thing about your careers, or do you like everything? Most of them say only the good things, which is the income, which is next slide, which is the, what is it? The surface, the thing that people can look at. Having a badge, this is my name. Show to my mom. Oh, congratulations, you are perfect, son. Yeah, this badge making me spending more time with my boss than spending time with you. Right? So, it's glamorous, when you work as a job, when you have a full-time jobs, when you're getting paid check. But here's the thing, your mom, your dad, let's say they're in the hospital for 7 days, who's gonna take care of them? Nothing, nobody, other than you guys, and the only one can do it, right? Pilots, you make a lot of money. I flew from California to here a couple of days ago. I talked to a pilot. He checked that if it's correct, most of it is correct. Most of it is correct. He was a frontier flight pilot, and he's practicing for over 20 years. And he said most of it is correct. Because I don't want to give you guys random information. Right? So, any major is going to come with some sort of these things. Here's a question. Have you looked into it? In your majors, marketing, engineering, anything, accounting, whatever. Have you looked into it? Because here's the thing. The last time that I fought with my girlfriend was 3 weeks ago. And we've been dating for 4 years. And I didn't know when I date with her, I'm gonna date also the bad things about her. And most of the guys, when they date with girls, they say, I like this because she's beautiful. I like her because she's talented. Yeah, you gotta like her backside too. Because it's co-commitment. Okay, let's say if you are a worker, you come to my companies, I'm the owners. You say that, I like your company, I like to work in that job. You know what I also tell you? If I'm a real good boss, if I tell you to go wash my dishes, you will like it. If I tell you to get me a coffee when you are having lunch, you like it. But that's what you gotta do. Because if you don't get me a coffee, guess what? You have a problem with me. That's what it is. It's politics, right? Next one. Being a therapist, therapist is like a very common major in the US nowadays. Right? People study, I don't know what major, but therapy, psychology, right? I think you become a psycho if you study psychology. Right? Here's a funny thing about psycho, right? I have a friend, he studies psychology in University of Houston. And he said that his dream is to become a doctor in physical therapy, helping people with their mental problems. And I asked him, if you have mental problem, who's going to fix that for you? You are stuck. You don't even know how to answer. Right? So here's the thing. When you are a therapy doctor, you know what you do? You listen to people crap, right? I argue to my friends today, I argue to my husband and wife today, and that's what a physical therapy too, right? Here's the thing, how can you vent them all out? To your friends, right? To your wife, to your husband? Here's the thing, how can your wife, your friends vent them all out? So in this world, it's like a cycle, right? People go into work, they get stressed, they get craps, they go to a therapy to release, to vent out all that craps, and then the therapist go to somebody else to go to another therapist to release all that crap. So it's like a cycle. It's funny, isn't it? It's like a rat race, right? But here's the thing, in my opinion, I think this is short-term solutions. Why? Because what causes stress? What causes stress? If you guys eating good food, does that cause stress? If you guys don't have to go to work and you can sleep 10 hours a day, going to fitness, to the gym 2 hours a day, eating good food, having money, having time, does that cause stress? No. What about meeting your boss, working for 12 hours a day, does that cause stress? That causes stress, right?
Yes.
Right? Meeting with the people you don't like at work, does that cause stress? Right? Living in a house that you have to live in with the people you don't like, just because you cannot afford to live in another house, does that cause stress?
Yes.
That's the reason why you go to therapy. Right? That's the short-term solution to me, is because I want to hide this thing, right? But it's a short-term solution, is because you're going to have to come back to it, go back to it again and again and again. You're making $60,000 a year, but you're going to spend what, $10,000 a year maybe for therapists, so that they can listen to you. Because we are living in a world that not so many people are willing to listen to us. Everybody has become a bit more selfish, right? So next slide. Work, life, reality, balance, right? Money, time, health, right? Among time, money, and health, what do you guys think is the most important? Huh?
I'm debating between time
Debating?
and
Time and health? Yeah. After spending a lot of time in making money for the past few years, I realized that now health is more important. I haven't made that much money as I desired yet, but I realized that at the age of close to 30, health is also very important. Because there's something called organs fat. There's something called, visceral fat. There's something called cholesterol. Even if you make $1 million, if you have those disease, you go to hospital, you can die the next day. Right? So what's the point of making money then, right? So here's the thing, right here. Below 20s, which is some of you guys are, you don't have money. If you want money, you go to your parents, right? But you have time. You do have time, do you think so? Below 20s, right? Health, you guys are definitely stronger than your mom and dad. 20 to 60s, which is some of you here and most of your parents. They have money because they have been accumulating money from work. They don't have time because they're now committing 40 hours a week in their jobs. They have health. I hope, okay health, But above 60s, anybody here been to a hospital before? Hospital? Why most people go to hospital above 60s? Because that's been 40 years of working, and then when they turn 60s, they get sick. They get sick. Because I don't go to that hospital that often. Right? So how can you balance between money, time, and health? What is that kind of careers in the world that giving you time, money, and health? And I'm talking about a lot of time. Right? You guys know that in order to eat good food also comes with a lot of sugar, a lot of addictions, a lot of, spices. And in order for you to digest all of that, you don't just walk, you gotta work out, you gotta fitness, you gotta go to the gyms. But then in order to go to the gym, what do you need? Time. If you work full time, not so many of us can make time to go to the gym after work. Right? Next slide. Normal life, getting dressed, going to work, driving through the traffic, get a job that you can pay for your house, car, we talked about it already. Right here, wake up ready to work for an hours. What does that mean? If you think that you get a full-time 40 hours a week job, no, that's gonna come with at least 1 hour to prepare. That's gonna come with at least 30 minutes to drive to work. That's gonna come with driving back home from work for 30 minutes. That's like 45 and 50 hours a week. That's why if you're gonna get committed to a full-time job, that's over full-time, even though you don't like it, okay? Next one. Expectation success, next one. These are some of the realities, that people meet when they have a full-time jobs. Credit cards, right? Having no financial plans. Oh, here's the thing, here's a funny thing. I asked my calculus professors, why do I have to learn calculus? He said that it's good for your careers. And I say, if I don't want to have a career, why do I have to learn calculus? And he say, it's still good for you. And I asked him, if I want to do budgeting, do I still have to do calculus? And he say no. And yeah, I want to quit the class. And the reason I say that, I had that debate to my professor was because I think that having a budgeting sheet is way more important than learning calculus. Having a budgeting sheet is what you learn to control your money. Do you guys know that to become wealthy and rich, knowing how to manage your money is way more important than making money? How many people in the country can make money? Tell me. Everybody. But how many? Why is it that so many US citizens become homeless? The same country that so many people become wealthy, but so many become homeless. It's because of budgeting shit. So learning calculus, does it have any things to do with budgeting shit? No, not at all. So if you're committing to get 4.0 in your mathematics class, I challenge you, can you do a budgeting sheet? And I challenge you, can you look at it? Can you keep looking at it when you make money? That's when danger comes, right? Next thing. Oh, okay, we'll now talk about happy marriage, okay? the topic that 20 years old people don't care about. Some of you guys in here don't have that happy marriage in your family. Your mom, your dad separated. Right? Some of you have happy parents. Right? Here's the thing. They've been together for 27 years. That's around my age. 27 years. And then they divorced. Okay. I mean, we don't want to become a billionaire, most of us, right? I mean, this doesn't make sense. Most of us don't want to become billionaires. Do you guys want to become a billionaire that bad? Not really, right? Making enough money to satisfy yourself, that's good. If you have a chance to win a lottery, become a millionaire, you still take the money, right? But here's the thing, you don't want to sacrifice between, I would say, dollar bill right here. Dollar bill and happy family. Okay, I asked my soon-to-be wife, right? If we're gonna get divorced in 10 years, should we get married? And you know what's the answer? No. So it's funny, but it's kind of ironic that 65% of U.S. populations getting into divorce nowadays. Why is it so common that people getting into divorce? That's a question. Finance. Okay.
I mean, my parents got a divorce when I was young, and it's not just about money. It's the way they want to use time and money. My dad worked for a government. He wants, like, in the weekend the whole family gonna go out have some fun, you know.
Yeah.
But my mom is a business woman, and the way she wants is, you know, she thinks that having fun is not
Nonsense.
yeah, it's not like suitable. I mean,
Not
it's not like
productive.
it's not necessary. Yeah, so she wants, like, to save money for a big trip with the whole family. But then my dad see a big trip, you know, like maybe to another country, to China, Thailand, is a waste of money. Right? He just want to go to, like, the next city, you know, or the beach, you know. The
So what about you? What do you like? Big trip or small trip? The both.
both. And most importantly, you know, like travel with the whole family and, like, no stress, no argument. I don't care where to go, you know, but like go but have fun. Yeah, have fun during the trip.
That's luxury. That's luxury. And luxury to do. I mean, I feel like for both of them, when they are that wealthy, they can afford whatever. You name it, they can afford it. But how come they still divorce? I think there's something called opinions. You know, people, we have different opinions, and sometimes, here's the thing. Any CEOs, they have very strong ego. They are very egotistical, which means that they want to be right. Right? So that's why even when they go to their family, they still taking that title home. I'm a CEO of Microsoft. I mean, I don't know what's happened, and I don't live in a family, but I used to live in a family, in a house actually, in a house. My aunties, she also a CEO. She's managing 15,000 employees. That's pretty big. In Vietnam, she's making close to 500,000. Converting that to the US, that's over 1 million. Divorced with her husband. The kids live a life without dad since she wasn't even 1 year old. Was it happy? Yeah, she tried to do whatever it takes to provide a happy life for her kids. But still, when she goes to class, she got bullied. She got criticized. She got talked about by her friends. They asked her, so you're so rich, huh? But you're poor in family. They talk about that with a 1 year old kid. And I'm like, man, that sucks. That sucks. So I'm glad that, okay, my parents don't divorce, but here's the thing. I don't want to debate between having a lot of money and having a happy family. Because sometimes people think that making okay money so that you can live a happy life. But my question is, what about making a lot of money and still living happy? I know that it's rare. I know that it's only, 20% of the population can do it. But here's the thing. Earlier, we talked about dream, right? What stopped you? Realities. You have seen people who are so rich and then losing a happy marriage. That's why you're telling yourself that you cannot do it. You cannot do it. Okay? Let me ask you guys, how many stories are this building? 6? Okay. Listen to the question carefully because most people get it wrong. Who can jump off this 6-story building? Hmm? Everyone can?
But not everyone want to.
Willing to. Not anyone willing to. There gotta be a reason, but everybody can. But when they heard about jumping off a 6-story building, they're gonna fear come to their mind. See that? So we are human beings. We are driven by fears as well as desires. We are designed for money, but we are also driven by fears. We are fearful of living broke. We are fearful of not having marriage. That's why some people nowadays they don't even think about having a marriage, living by themselves. But here's the thing: I talked to my girlfriend, right? After almost 4 years of dating, we got a lot of arguments. Even 3 weeks ago, I told you that, right? And I asked her, I showed her the pictures, and I asked her if one day we become rich, and then we divorce. What do you think? And we were silent for many moments. But it doesn't happen to us. And the thing I think is because we are very fortunate to have our mentors, not just in careers, but also in life. It's called holistic mentorship. Right? My mentors are so great. He's only 31 years old. But the reason that I'm very firm when saying that my mentors are awesome is because he's also getting mentored in terms of life, in terms of careers. He knows how to choose a wife. He knows how to choose a careers. He knows how to choose where to buy a house and what time to spend for family. But here's the thing, young people don't care about it. Why? Because you guys are only 20s. You guys can still experience. You can still make mistakes. So not like I'm stopping you guys from making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. But here's the thing, if you choose a boyfriend for 10 times, you're gonna get exhausted the 11th time. Right? I stop at number 3. I don't want to take any more and then make more mistakes. Okay, next one, next slide. Okay. I don't know if we have enough time, but let's play the game, okay? Anybody like games? Yeah. Tell me a way to get out of this maze quickest. 30-second countdown. But you got the answer?
Yeah. You go down at the bottom, and then right, top, left, top, right, and then down, right, you go to that place, right, down, and left, and down, and then right.
Got it.
You see the
That's less than 30 seconds. Give her a chance, guys. I don't have a pants here, but this is my one.
Really? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, it's a bit tricky. I haven't told you guys that you need to go through the maze. Sorry, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I will go, outside the maze. I will go like that.
Anyway, it's many ways to, go out this maze. But the main point I'm trying to deliver is that this is the lessons. Sometimes the way out of your life is not in school. Sometimes the way out of your life is not what you've been doing. It could be something totally different. But it's just a society that they do it. That's why we don't do it. Have you heard about the story of a monkey and $1,000 stack and one bunch of banana? He's a monkey. Okay? I'm not a monkey. Let's say this is a monkey. Let's say this is a monkey. This white paper is a stack of bananas. And this is $1 million stack of money. And behind the monkey is like a crowd of monkeys, right? What do you think the monkey is gonna pick? This or this? Banana. Why? Why?
Because
That's what monkey eats, right? But do you think monkeys can buy bananas? small bananas, right? One bunch of banana is a lot smaller than $1 million. But here's the thing, if the monkey picked this, what do you think the rest of the monkey gonna say about this monkey?
Stupid.
Huh? Stupid? Stupid monkey? Stupid monkey? But do you want to be that stupid monkey?
Yes.
But then, what if we want to get booked without getting criticized? What if we want to get that $1 billion without getting called stupid? Now it's come to the story of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. The lesson from it is that the monkey, on the daytime when all the monkeys are awake, can go and get a bunch of bananas. But at night, he can silently go and get the dollar bills. Right? You guys heard about Facebook stories? You guys know that the Facebook company was developed when Mark Zuckerberg's mom was very against him. But now, do you think his mom is still against him? No, never. She don't dare to. She don't dare to, because that's what pays the bill. Right? So a lot of time, people think that whatever I do gonna be approved by my parents. Whatever I do gonna be approved by my professors, friends, boyfriend, girlfriends. But here's the thing, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be like that. Right? Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Michael Dell's, all those CEO entrepreneurs, what is the number one trait about entrepreneurs? They are willing to be criticized, and they are flexible, they are smart, they are street smart, right? Next one. Okay, some backup plans, right? I mean, these are just a few. Okay, it's a few that I've seen that's very popular nowadays. Move on. Like YouTube, stock, mutual fund, blah, blah. Okay, this thing's gonna catch your attention somehow. Full-time job, YouTuber, stock, traditional basis, a basis with holistic mentorship, real estate, buy, sell, rental house, right? I don't know if you guys care about it, but the older I get, the more I care about this. Because the more I realize that if I don't care about this, nobody care about me, right? So even though you are 18 or around 18 or 20, I think it's still important to care about it, because you don't know how long your mom's income gonna last. I didn't know if that my dad's companies went down by 40% during the pandemic. That was very sudden. Here's the thing, cost to start. A full-time job, what is the cost to start? Tuition, right? How much a student at UTA pay? 200 for a degree. What do you think?
How much? Like the tuition at UTA?
International or domestic?
Both.
International would be 44,000 with like, living and
Yes,
tuition.
50.
Or just tuition is 20 and domestic is 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that ranges about 50 to
Yeah.
150 to $200,000. You guys think that you are an investment of your parents? Yeah? And you are an investment for yourself, right? If you could choose, do you guys know the term called return of investment? Right? If you could choose return of investment, you want to choose the number 1 or you want to choose the number 100? You want to choose which option? The best one or the lowest one?
Yes.
The best one. You want to choose the perfect one or you want to choose the risky one? Perfect? But here's the thing, there's no perfect. In our mind, we want to choose something that's perfect, that's flawless. But in reality, there's no perfect. But it's just that I think between the bottom here is risky. Above is perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, but there's no such thing as 100% risk. But I would minimize the risk. I would try to minimize the risk because I know I only got one life to live. Right? You guys know that there's something called, have you guys read the book called The One Thing? There's a rule, it's called domino effect. You know domino effect? It's one piece of domino lead to another piece, lead to another piece. That's like how you make decisions in your life. Right? Some friends of mine choosing wrong career, that he wasted 6 years, and now he come to work full time for 2 years, he don't like it. He's already turned 28 years old. And he said that now he go back to school, he too old. But he still wanna learn because he don't wanna live in that careers. But here's the thing, questions. I question, how do you know if what you are studying gonna be the one? And now he drop out. Because of one question of mine. And, I think that dropping out is a good decision. Not that I'm telling you to drop out, but he's dropping out, but he doesn't stop, looking for more options. He's drop out, but then now he spends time more for himself to see what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, what he can do, what he can learn, right? Here's the thing, YouTubers, is it trending now? It's trending now. TikTok, trending. Stocks are trending. Traditional business, it's a bit costly, it costs money, right? Real estate, perfect. If you could invest a few $100,000 to make money in real estate, you can make money quick. Full-time jobs. It's gonna take about 4 to 6 years. But here's the thing. Income growth, time security, freedom, should be another column for happy marriage, a happy life, right? You guys should consider between these 4, 5 factors. What you can afford. Gotta be real with yourself. What can you afford? What do you like? You like to have a non-secure, or do you want to have a lot of time? Do you want to have an income growth, space to growth? Here's the thing. You guys know about company called Yahoo?
Yeah.
You guys know about company named Nokia?
Yeah.
Company named Fry's Electronic? No? California, we know. What about name one restaurant that 5 years ago you tried, you eat it, you like it, now it's not around. One restaurant, one mobile store. In Sherman, where you live, right? I've been in the country for only 9 years, right? But I've seen a lot of brands, companies that was trending. Now they are off the market. Now they are not on IPA no more. And why? It's because trend doesn't last. Your major could be trending. Question, how long does it last? Right? Is it gonna last for a lifetime? Is it gonna last for 5 years, 10 years? And here's the thing, you can prove me wrong, but what you cannot prove wrong is that there's a major that is trending now, but that's not gonna be trending later. There's a major that used to be trending 20 years ago, now it's not trending no more. If you study accounting right now, you're gonna be a CPA. You be a CPA, you gotta apply for good companies. Otherwise, you don't make money. It's just what it is, right? Because there's so many competitions, So if we don't keep ourselves updated with the market, which is, I think it's more important than choosing what you like, because this is what you like, this is what the market needs. If you don't know what the market needs, no matter what you like, they don't pay you. You go to my job, you say, I do what I like, I fire you. You know what I mean? Right? So, guys, make sure you guys are very realistic with this. Otherwise, I have seen tons of students now out there. You know that they are all committed with studying homework, but they are uncertain about their careers. Many students nowadays like that. Getting 4.0 with homework, but uncertain about jobs. What is it for? What is the point of doing a lot of homework, right? Right. So next slide. For me, right, I actually got a different reference about a couple of years ago. I met a couple by the name of Kenny and Nini. They're living in Grand Paris, right? It's so cool that they're living nearby. But I actually met them through a friend of mine, and now he's my mentors named Phil. So Kenny and Nini mentor Phil, and Kenny and Nini both mentor me. How old do you think they are? This is about 2 years ago. How old do you think they are? 30? 30s? So now after 2 years they are 32? Right? He used to work in the bank industry, and take a look at this. I don't know if you can zoom out to me, but let me read it for you. Finally retired in my 20s during COVID-19. I'm free October 21st, 2023. What does it mean if a young man like him retired at the age of 29? What does that mean? Does it mean you're gonna have no jobs? No, you're gonna still have jobs, His job is as a husband. His job is being a dad. And I used to ask him, when I first met him a couple of years ago, what is the occupations, like futures, your dream occupation? You know what his answer is? DAD. And I'm like, is that ADHD? Because I saw him very energetic, but he said, I know I'm a bit ADHD, but my, desired career is to be a full-time dad. And I didn't get it. Can you zoom out? Thank you. I didn't get it. Why is it that somebody want to become a full-time dad and husband? Why is it? Okay, here, maybe, let me ask you another question, okay? You see the weddings, right? You see many weddings. Yeah, in Vietnam, there's a recent, very famous wedding just happened for celebrities. Why do you think people put rings on each other? It's a commitment. It's time for commitment. If me and my girlfriend, we put rings for each other, we exchange rings, and now we both work full times. What does that mean?
You don't commit to the family that you.
That much? I should put the ring to my boss. I should put my rings to my boss.
You sign the paper.
I might have a marriage certificate, but my boss keep my rings. It's tragic. It's tragic that many people getting a full-time jobs that they're not supposed to get, that they shouldn't get, right? So here's the thing. This couple taught me the values of being a full-time dad, full-time son for their parents, full-time dad, full-time mom for their kids. And now, for her, she's retired for 6 years now. For him, he's retired for 2 years now. And they are actually traveling the world to impact people. And then their kids seeing them on the TVs, which is so cool. I mean, because the last time I see my dad on the TV was in my dream. The last time, I've talked about my dad with respect and with a lot of impact he's made on people was in my dream. Never before he's done that. He's a business owner, but the sad thing is that he never teach anybody to become a business owner just like him. Because in his traditional basis, he don't teach people to be successful so that he can be successful. But then for Kenny and Nene, they actually allow myself to learn from them, to learn their mindset, to learn how they treat people, to learn how they work with their business partners, so that I could do the same thing just like them. Right? And this is, I think, I was a bit skeptical when I met Kenny and Nene because I first came to the country, that was only for 2 years, and I was like, there's no such thing that somebody is successful with teaching you. I never seen it. But then, if you don't know, there's a corporation in McDonald's. What is the concept of McDonald's, do you think? Franchise? Franchise? What is franchise model means? What does it mean? It means the top here, the CEO, he created the franchise system. Now he want to pass it down to other people so that they can also be benefited from that system. And that's why the owner, the founder of the McDonald's corporation passed away. His name is Ray Kroc. Now he's making more than any of you alive working. So it exists. It exists in the world that somebody is successful, willing to teach you to be as much successful as they are. It's just that our skepticism, it's just that we have seen a lot of scams. We have seen a lot of people bad treating each other. That's why now we kind of lose trust. So I'm not telling you guys to be very innocent. You should be still be skeptical. But the thing is that, should you also be skeptical about your degrees? Should you also be skeptical about your dad, your mom advice to get a full-time jobs? Because that's you telling to your parent that I don't spend time for you as much when I get a full-time jobs. Right? And I have seen with Kenny and Nene, they've been spending more time for their dad and their mom than any naysayer, than any critics out there. A lot of people have talked to Kenny and Nene and they say, I don't believe in retired at the age of 30s. And they say, whatever you do is luck. What do you guys think? I mean, whenever we become successful, everybody's going to say it's luck. It's just nonsense, okay? So this is called getting a checkpoint in my life. For the first time, 20 years old, I get somebody who are living different lifestyle, and I want to live just like them. And also one more thing, okay? They teach me one value that I really love. It's the value of friendship. I think that besides time, money, health, it's something mental health. It's very important. Friendship. To me, friendship means not just sugarcoating, not just eating. Anybody can do that, but also trusting each other's. Right? We do things for each other out of inconvenience. Right? We travel to meet each other's. Right? I remember when I first met, the opportunity to work with Kenny and Nene a couple of years ago. The person who introduced me to this, right? He gave me a book, and he said, "Read this book. It's gonna change your life." And I'm like, "Dude, what do you mean? Like, it's just a random book?" But he said it changed my life, and I was like, I was looking into it, how much it is. It's $21. So I asked him, "What if I don't read it and I stole the book? I can sell it on the internet for like $30. Because you think it changed your life, right? I can just advertise it on the internet and sell it for $30-40. And he said, "Yeah, do whatever you want." Like, it changed my life. Then I took it home. I didn't sell it, of course, right? I wasn't that stupid because $10 margin is not that big. So I took it home. I kind of think for a moment. I asked myself, this guy was a stranger. He was just a class student in my school, and he gave me a book. And then never before anybody really giving me any book. So let's say if he loses that book, he's gonna lose about $20, right? But let's say if I lose that book, what do I lose?
Life-changing.
A life-changing opportunity or knowledge, whatever in the book, right? Because the last time my professor told me that the reason you should read textbook is that because it's a life-changing book was never. Right? So maybe my professor is so bad in terms of marketing. My friend was so good, but I read this book and it definitely changed my life. There's something called cash flow quadrant. I don't have it here, but we have a marker somehow. Do we? No. We have a marker right there, a pink marker. Can you borrow it?
That one is
Sharpie?
Sharpie.
Oh no. Doesn't work. Can you borrow a marker? Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But move on to the next slide. Next slide. People ask me, what do I do? What do I do? Simple, right? I partner with these companies. They are in my back. They support me, right? I do the marketing for them. I help them to raise their revenues via online streaming services. Not streaming services, but streamlining their online supply chain process, right? During COVID-19, I realized that what I've been doing for 4 years was training. No, it wasn't training, but it's gonna be training. It's gonna be profitable. It's gonna be secure during pandemic. And I didn't lose my income, but most of my engineer friends lost their income. Most of my engineer gotta sell their Mercedes to afford a regular living, right? So I also work with mentors, right? He mentored me in 360-degree aspect, relationship, goal setting, personal finance, you name it, right? And also the industry we do is franchise, e-commerce, right? So to be specific, we don't have enough time to talk about it, but to me, it's something that I don't go to school for. And I was a bit regret because we spent $200,000 for a degree and now I don't use it, so I kind of regret that to my mom because $200,000. But I think that looking at return on investment, it's a lot more. She have a son who can, give parents advice nowadays, right? So, all of this, let me ask you guys, okay? Communication skills, relationship, goal setting, personal finance, leadership development. You're gonna lead your kids later. Career guidance. How much would you pay to learn this? You pay $250,000 for a degree in school. How much would you pay for this? It's hard. It's hard to name a price, right? But I would think it's priceless. Because if you learn communication skill, it saves your marriage. If you learn relationship management, also contribute to that, it giving you more good relationship. If you learn goal setting, personal finance, it saves you from being a homeless. Right? So, career is one side, but I think the career, you're gonna differentiate. Right? I'm gonna talk about it when we get a markers. But there's something different. It's called, let's say, okay, this is point A. Take a look at this carefully because I don't have the elaboration here. This is point A. No, right here. Let's say this is point A. This is point B. This is where you are, and this is, okay? This is the vehicle to get you from A to B. B is where you want to be. B is your destinations. So let's say somebody say that I'm majored in computer science. Is that their destinations? Is computer science their destinations or their vehicle? Vehicle? Right? Why do you think it's a vehicle? Because after getting a computer science major degree, he's still gotta work very hard for many other things, right? So, what is more important? The what is it? The vehicle or the destinations? Choosing the destination first or choosing the vehicle first? Destination. This explains why a lot of students switch majors, including myself. I was a business administration major. I changed to computer science. Later on, I take on accounting. And after I finish, I don't do anything with it. Because I look at the destination. I realize that computer science don't bring me that lifestyle of having time, money, health, good friendship. Then I changed the vehicle, right? So passions. My passion was developed along the way because I am allowed, I am capable of helping other people to realize the same things that I did, right? To have the mindset just like I am, right? So passion is developed along the way, but the vehicle, before I choose it, I choose the destinations, right? So this is probably the most important thing if you guys are attending the meeting today, the workshop today, is that choosing the destination, choosing the lifestyle you want to live, choosing the idol, choosing the tip, the role model for yourself. Your dad, your mom, your professors, or somebody that you do, or somebody who is successful that you know of. You don't have it? That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I elaborated. Okay. Next one. Next slide. Okay. This is the environment that I hang out with. This is my mentors. She gave. This is man Hannah. I know a lot of people in the U.S. I've been here for 9 years, but I think I know more people than you guys been living here the whole life. This is one of my good friends. Her name is Misa. She's 28 years old. She retired for 4 years now. After she graduated from college with a bachelor in biotechnology, she worked full time for almost a year and then she quit. She turned that resignation letter to her boss and said, "Thank you, I don't need it no more. Send it to somebody." And now she's working full time in her business. And as a business owner here, it's a lot less stressful, right? So this is at an event and we had a camping back in California. She was training, she was giving nuggets, lessons, wisdom for other people on how they could manage their life. They're becoming more mature, learning to communicate. And this is young people that we've been working with. And here's the thing, let me tell you this one. I interned at big company before. And I work with big dogs who are 40, 50 years old. Big dogs meaning that they are senior engineers. Do you think I like to work with 40 years old people when I'm in the 20s? Those people talk about having an affair. Those people talking about beers, girls, boys. I dislike it. But I like to work with these people. I like to work with young people because they are young. They speak the same language. They speak, the young, the Gen Y, Gen Z language. And that makes me younger. But when I work with my boss, my co-workers back then, 40, 50 years old, I feel like I'm turning older every day. And I'm dying, right? This is my girlfriend. Okay. Next slide. Okay, some tips to a successful life and careers I have for you. Having a vision first, which means having a destination first. Okay. Having a life mentors, because you don't want to do everything by yourself. Right? The smartest people that I know, they still have a mentors. You know Warren Buffett?
Yeah.
You know who are his mentors? Benjamin Franklin, the author of the book Intelligent Investors. Bill Gates also get mentors from his friend Warren Buffett. Mark Zuckerberg get mentor from Bill Gates. So why do you think so many smart people getting the mentors because they want to make the same mistakes, right? So open mind to learn because there's going to be many things that's different with whatever you've been learning many years back. Non-school skills, focus on this, non-school skills, which means that you don't learn in schools. Here's the thing, these non-school skills is going to better offer schools, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Next slide. Skills equal to motivations. Some people say that I don't have motivation to move on in my life, Some people say that I don't have motivation to make $1 million. You gotta learn skills. You know what it's skills? Skill to observe. You know? I think that, when I was in the traffic to get to UTA, I was in a bit of traffic, right? I looked to the car next to me and I asked, 12 p.m., where is this person going? He could be going to lunch, he could be going to meet somebody, he could be going to a job. But what if, question I asked myself, what if somebody is gonna be stuck in the traffic for 40 years? Did you guys like to drive Lamborghini? Yeah, you guys like to drive like Rolls Royce? You know Rolls Royce, the car that if you want to test the engine, you put the quarter on top of the engine, it's not moving. It's not moving. That's flawless quality. Here's the thing. In traffic, those exotic cars drive the same speed as Toyota. So why do you want to get a brand new supercar just to be in the traffic? It makes no sense, right? So next slide. Next slide. Okay, right here. Important. If you learn to communicate, you get better jobs. If you learn to communicate, you get better people support you. You get good relationship. If you can learn to self-motivate, you will never run out of motivations. Anywhere you go, anything that you do, you always have motivation. Learn to solve problems. These are important. I have some friends. Every time that he becomes stressed, you know what they do? Drink, girls, alcohol, beers. And after doing all that, he's still stressed. How funny it is, right? So here's the thing, it's called addictions. People go into those addictions to get away from realities. When you take drugs, your life is like beautiful. After the drug is gone, your life sucks. Right? So learn to solve problems. Learn to look at the problem with the right perspective, and that's what you need mentor for. Decisiveness. A lot of people nowadays are indecisive because they don't know if it's going to turn good or bad. But here's the thing, life is a journey that you're going to learn a lot. So sometimes you're going to make some bad decisions, sometimes you make good decisions. In order for you to make good decisions, you're going to learn from experience. In order for you to have experience, you're going to make bad decisions. Right? Leadership. Ability to work under time management and pressure. Here's the thing. In school, right, you have deadlines. At work, you also have deadlines. Last thing that's going to shock your mind. In life, you have deadlines. If you have a girlfriend, you have a boyfriend, you have a parent, and you don't support them as soon as you can, they're gonna die before you are capable of supporting them. Right? My mom, my dad, they don't tell me that, hey, succeed a bit late, okay? Because we're gonna live for a bit long time. They don't say that. They can die anytime. They can get into an accident tomorrow, and I'm not even successful yet. That sucks, right? Responsibility. Learn to take responsibility, because if you don't, your parents are doing it. Flexibility, right? Teamwork. A lot of people now, they prefer working individually because they just cannot talk. They just cannot tolerate people's difference. They cannot just learn people's personalities. Here's the thing, if you cannot teamwork, your happy marriage will die. Because that's a teamwork environment at your home, right? Negotiation and conflict resolution. I think this is way more important than $200,000 school degree. Because I learned this, and this has helped my relationship 4 years with my girlfriend. And my school professors, they divorced. So yeah, next slide please. I always wonder why birds stay in the same place when they can fly anywhere on the earth, and I ask myself the same questions. Please ask yourself the same questions. Why UTA? Why Americas? If you could travel to many other countries, why here? You know, why not giving yourself more options, right? Next slide. Small step lead to big changes.
That's cute.
I think it's pretty cute, right? Not me, of course. I think, you know, a lot of us dreaming of big changes in our life, like a big jump. It's called quantum jump, right? But in order for you to make a big jump, it's definitely more important to make big steps. But here's the thing. Nobody is going to notice your big steps, only you. Right? I have been examples. I've been going to the gym for almost 1 month now. Nobody noticed nothing much about me, my health. But I make that small step to every day, every like few days of the week, to go to the gym for at least 30, 45 minutes. And I notice a lot that I'm living healthy. Right? I become more happy, right? So here's the thing. Your life change, your career change, it starts from a small change. For me, the smallest change was allowing somebody who I didn't know before to become my mentors. That was a small change in my life because I come from that business family background from my dad. So he said that don't listen to anybody other than yourself. And when I come meet my mentor, he asked me one question that shook me the most. Why did you doing what you're doing, Henry? I'm like, what money you talking about? So how do you want to live your life? Which means that how are you going to spend your time, money, living with people? I have no clues. That's the first time in my life I allow strangers out of my family tree to teach me about life. And for the past 6 years, it becomes a lot more lessons. Okay? Next slide. Okay, done. We're done. But here's the thing. I want you guys to take some lessons to your home. You don't need to make big changes, sometimes, we don't need a huge opportunities, and that's like, very trending and famous. Here's the thing. We are living in a society that you gotta be a opportunity seizer. Opportunity seizer, right? How many of you know that? In order to get scholarship, you gotta compete. In order to get ahead in life, you also gotta compete. In order for me to get my girlfriend, I gotta compete. Yeah, so a lot of things in our life nowadays, we cannot just wait. We cannot just wait. Sometimes in front of us is something that could change our life. In front of me is a door, right here. Let's say if out of that door, if somebody could change my life, and I don't know that is somebody could change my life, I would keep the doors open. See, but if I am smart, I would keep the door open, even though if some bad people can come in, I can kick them out. But however, when I keep the door open, I can allow other people to come and teach me. Alright, see, so again guys, it's been about an hour now. Thank you so much, Tech. Thank you so much, Shasha, for hosting. Thank you so much, you guys, for interacting, and then hope you guys enjoy the meeting. Alright, if you have any more questions, I'm open to answers. Alright, thank you so much for inviting me as well. Okay, so